Welcome to 4 Oak Street. In this video I'm going to show you the progress so far in regards to finishing the final few modules to get the loop happening. So just now looking at the back section of the layout where you can see the bridge, and then you'll see the new section. Also, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've received. It's taken about a month or so to get here, but finally here, and that stuff will enable me to do a bit of sizing up and see how things will fit. So what you're looking at here is the curve that will come from the bridge, bit of an S shape, and you can see the construction, the usual thing, using the bead here, which is like a 12mm square bead, and that is screwed to the baseboard, and then we have 6mm MDF, which is used to frame, I suppose, the profile of the landscape. And then you can see, because it's in modules, you can see that this is a join. And there are some tricks that you can do if they don't join as perfectly as you'd like. You can always put a slight packer just to angle them. So that's where it crosses over, and then you can see going into the station. So lots and lots of procrastination about what the layout was going to be in terms of the track layout. So looking at internet, and I finally actually found a station in Wales which is exactly pretty much the track plan. That this is fairly simple. So there'll be 2 tracks that go straight through, and for those that want to stop at the station, there'll be 2 points at either end to provide 2 passing loops, and more than likely a crossover. So what I tend to do is use these paper things, which here is showing you the crossover, which is fairly big, I suppose, because they're obviously long range, long radius points. So moving back, you can see we have another join here. Jury's still out on how long that platform's going to be. That is around 4 foot, which will take the 10 coaches if required. Because what I want to do is fit the tunnel mouth in, and what I have done here, you can see I've actually penciled the radius in. And to give it the widest radius, given that there's going to be a platform on the outside of the board, it means that the track will curve around to the edge of the board and then do a bit of a slight S into the station. So the S really needs to be the other side of the tunnel mouth. So what I've done here is this board here, which will provide the station. It means the way that I've done it, I can then get the 6mm MDF, and that will just butt up against the side here. So screw to the side of the MDF and screw to that 12mm stringer that goes around, so you can see, like here for example. So once I've worked out the location of the points, I will be cutting a hole in the actual baseboard as such to provide access. So there'll be 2 points at each end, so that's where the holes will be. So I'm sort of working that out at the moment. Now, in regards to the rest of the track, the 2 tracks on the inside will actually come along here at roughly this angle, over this joint, and then down here past the Dyson and curve around into a tunnel mouth round about I suppose at the halfway point of the curve, and obviously then come through the tunnel mouth, go from 2 to 4 tracks, 4 tracks in the station back to 2. But what I have been working on and thinking about is where the tracks will come out here. You can see the mark is having one track come through a crossover here, so the 2 tracks come along the edge of the board, and they will drop down slowly. I've got to work out the gradient, but obviously if you're looking at 2% and you've got 2 meters, you can come down about 40 mil, and you've still got the 2%. So what I'm actually thinking about doing then is having that those 2 tracks then branch out into what will be here some coaching sidings and a loco maintenance depot. There's also the potential to have a track going back through here, and if necessary even have the TMD there. Still haven't decided. I've decided sometimes the best thing to do is to just get on with it, because there's so many different variations that if you try and think of everything through exactly at that time, you can end up with paralysis through analysis, which I tend to have occasionally. So that's pretty much it. So you can see it'll be a nice run round the back here, and then it will run through this S and then into the station and so on. So just want to show you some of the stuff that's actually arrived. So first item is a Hymek. Believe it or not, this is actually the 3rd one. I've had a bad run with them. The first one just ran for a little while during testing, and then just wouldn't run and was tripping my my devices. And then the second one had an unusual fault. It ran nicely, but it would only go to a speed that you would say would be about 20%, if that, maybe 25%. Not that I want to run them fast, but obviously there was something happening and the motor was getting pretty hot. So I tried switching over the chips, got all the different programming CVs, still couldn't do anything with it. So this is a replacement. So thank you Rails, and thank you Dapol. So that's the first item. In relation to that TMD that I'm looking at, this is like a maintenance depot mess room. So you might say I'm getting a bit lazy, but I do want to get this layout sort of going. So I am going to have to build a fair bit of stuff, but this looked pretty good. So that will be part of the TMD. Also some fuel storage tanks here, which are quite a nice model. Then we have a servicing depot, which was another Christmas present that my daughters bought this. So yeah, that will go I suppose near the storage tanks. Then this was on a very cheap special, this one, wooden carriage shed. So I do want to have a couple of sidings that I can store a few more coaches. So I thought that would be quite nice. Now this was one of those rare items that was actually bought from eBay from Tasmania, and as new. So I thought that's quite nice. Modern service depot, I suppose. How modern, but I believe that these were around in the 60s, so I'm told. Then back to now some of the track stuff. So this is what I use these tags for doing my bus wire. So these screw to the baseboard, and then you run the bus wire through the tags either side. And I've also got some tags that I can solder on if I need to actually have 4 or 5 wires converging at that particular point. Then we have basic, metal fish plates. Couple of N-gauge buffer stops, and to make these look a bit better, got a few of these, which are the little lights through Gauge Master Train Tech. Just adds a bit more interest with those red lights. For me, these are very important. Me being a bit of a stickler, these are the special sleepers that you use when you're doing a joint to try and maintain the sleeper spacing. So yeah, I've got a few packs of these. Also, in that TMD, there's going to be a couple of maintenance inspection pits, so a couple of those. We then have quite a few sets of points. I think I've got about six pairs already. Surprising, since I last bought them, how the packaging has changed. There's the diamond crossing. Then most of these are all large radius. There's a couple of curved ones here. And then I did have, from before, I think 6 sets, a couple of medium radius. And so anyway, hopefully I can make those all fit. So that's pretty much it. So doesn't look like I've done a heap of work, but I can assure you I've been not only doing stuff at the weekend like now, but I've also been trying to do a couple of jobs at night. So this was one of the jobs that I did. Obviously it's got to be painted, but this was a board that had no support. So just looking underneath here, you can see it's been undercoated, but that now provides the support. All these boards are now fastened down. So yeah, pretty much ready to go now. Building this half circle here, and then joining back up to the left of the Dyson there, with to the right the depot, or potentially even some of the depot on the inside here, but the two main tracks going over the tracks that will go to the depot, just to provide a bit more interest, another bridge, and track on another level. So I'm thinking this down the side here, this could also end up being another sort of viaduct with arches, even though I do want to disguise the layout in as much as that flat board will be covered in the XPS foam to provide different levels. So there may even be another bridge actually going over the actual track. So so yeah, lots to do, and thanks everybody for commenting and watching my progress go. Unfortunately no running shots, because I tend to, when I am going to do a run, I tend to vacuum the whole layout, clean the track, and then have a bit of running. But I'm hoping my next running session is going to be watching those trains just run, and I want to see how long it takes them to do a full lap and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So from Four Oaks, thanks for watching. Bye.